This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, welcome to Jim Norick Arena for the last dance at the Big House. And for 5A and 6A, it's a first right here at the Big House. And to get things started, we've got Jordan Ray, who's got Coach Noel standing by to kind of introduce this rematch of last year's state championship game.
Okay, Coach Noel, first talk about your decision to change your starting lineup.
Just adjusting to their roster, and just I got a nice game plan that I'm hoping we can execute tonight.
Okay, you remember Booker T from last year. They had returned a lot of the same players. Are they any different in your eyes?
No, not really. They've been here before, all 5 guys, so it just, we got to adjust. We just got to be ready to play.
All right, do you feel like you can play any different since this year you got games Monday, Thursday, Saturday?
Yes, it's an adjust for, I think, both teams, man, so we both just got to show up and
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, Eric.
All right, so Jordan Ray is going to make his way back up here to Jim Norick Arena for the first time, probably since the 80s when there was not even a 6A school. For 5A and 6A, it's all going to be here except for semifinals, so don't get ready for that schedule with quarterfinals being played here tonight. And then Thursday, it's going to be at Yukon High School for the semifinals, and then back here for the state championship on Saturday. This is an audio-only presentation for those who are kind of scratching their head and wonder why we're not live streaming. Well, that is exclusive rights to the NFHS network, so you can watch it there, but you can listen to us for those who have been following our OSN teams and our network all season long throughout all the exciting basketball games that we have covered. You can just kind of tune in with us. So we're going to kind of keep you along for the ride as Jordan makes his way up here to the last dance at the Big House. 59 years, so this makes the 60th year of high school basketball championships. Over the time, 1,879 games played, over 205,000 points, and 434 different winning teams. Now, I don't know who is in charge of data entry, but that's a lot of tracking as far as what this place means. It's the last dance here because if you've seen it even from the interstate, the new building is up, ready for next year's play. It's brand new. It will be a brand new shiny penny for next year. But this is the last where the historic experience is here on this floor. And if you follow the OSSAA on their social media, shows you a lot of memories that were made in this court, and that's really special for these two teams. So, as we mentioned, a rematch of last year's state title game is going to be a quarterfinal matchup, and they've seen each other before, so they kind of know each other. How will it play? That's going to be foreseen here in these 4 corners. Booker T comes in with a record of 21-7, and as Jordan and I were talking about, most of those losses have come to either Texas or Class 6A schools. And so don't really look at the records to say, well, Booker T's 21-7, Midwest City is 20-8. That should be an even match, but they've got the revenge factor of last year's state title to bring to Midwest City tonight.
And I don't really know, Eric, for sure if this is correct. They have everyone returning, but they have almost everyone. They had no seniors on their roster last year at Booker T. As for Midwest City, they lost 3 rotation players, including Carl Sean Young, who was the #1 junior in the state last year. Now he's at a prep school in Arizona, last I checked anyway. So it's very different for Midwest City, but they're plugging in players like Chance Bubba Davis. We talked about him. He's the new guy in the starting lineup, and he was out with a foot injury. He's still not 100% for Midwest City. He's going to need surgery soon, but they've been playing him the last couple games. He's played well, and this will be an interesting lineup for Midwest City, because they have a lot of guards who can do different things and have decent size to them. And as for Booker T, we'll see how they match up, but they went 14-0 in their district. They only won their area championship by a basket. So I don't know if they're at full strength or not, but we'll find out.
Well, the other thing is that I'm going to say is that how battle tests, and we don't really get to see the East schools as much as we do West, but when you see what Midwest City had to come out of, which is Lawton High, Del City, they all split, as far as those, and Midwest City had a great game with Del City in a double overtime matchup to kind of get that. So there's been a lot of drama throughout the year, and we're excited as they played the Oklahoma fight song of kind of getting ready for the starting lineups. And, of course, the Midwest City Bombers will be introduced first. And they are welcoming the audience to the big house, and they can really pack this in when it comes to finals. But this is a quarterfinal matchup. As we said, a little bit different. We've had it in Tulsa before, and we've done it in Norman. I think they're going to do the national anthem, and so we'll step away for a break and be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brumped it all right. What a burger.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
And we're back here at the Jim Norick Arena. It's the famous Big House and The Last Dance in an audio-only presentation. NFHS Network has exclusive video rights to the Midwest City Bombers. Being introduced in your starting lineups is brought to you by Dynamic Health. Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Coffin specializes in athletic injuries, able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. Midwest City Bombers going to be led by Caleb Stevens, a 6-foot junior. Then Mason McKenzie, a senior at 6'1" and a guard. Deshaun Denson, the second, a 6'3" junior. And then it's Bubba Davis, Chance Davis, a senior. And then Brandon Dixon wearing number 12. They're going to be in their golds with black numbers as the Midwest City Bombers. Now to the Booker T. Washington Hornets, going to be Isaac Sanders, who is a junior at 6'2". Jock Mitchell, a sophomore at point guard at 6'3". Mason Mutilis, he's a junior at 6'4". Jamari Simpson, a senior at 6'3", and Barron Harris Jr., also a senior, under the direction of head coach Eli Brown. So as we mentioned, this was the rematch of last year in their state title game. Title sponsor is brought to you by Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for new and pre-owned vehicles. Visit them today at Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC, exit Hudaburg at 6100 Tinker Diagonal, Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. Well, we'll put zeros on the board, we'll put 8 on the clock, and we're getting ready for an audio-only presentation here at the Last Dance quarterfinals. You punch your ticket to the semifinals for a Thursday matchup, going to be here at UConn. Exciting moment to have a rematch like this in round 1 from last year, Jordan.
Absolutely, and I think a big thing early for Midwest City, Cameron Highshaw, he was really good against the Bombers, shooting three-pointers in the first half of last year's game. So they need to track him early. And can they get Deshaun Denson going? 1,000-point scorer. He did not hit a three-point shot against Carl Albert on Friday, but he did get to the free throw line a lot. Can he continue to do that?
Set to tip it up, and it's going to be actually rebounded by Midwest City at the line because the ball went right back. So the Bombers will get the first shot at an open three ball, and it hits. A Bobby Lewis three to start this matchup at a 3-0 lead for the Bombers.
Bubba Davis starting for the first time in a long time and hitting a three.
Coming off of an injury, and he's ready to go. Set to say, hey, we have something to say about it. We're reigning state champions until we're defeated. Little low pass down below. Spin move up off the glasses, up and in. So that's going to be good for Harris Jr. to respond, and it's quickly on a fast run by the Midwest City Bombers. That's no good. Fast break on the other end is back-to-back points, as just like that, Harris hits back twos.
This is fast-paced. Midwest City missed a layup. Mason McKenzie did not have to reverse the layup. He tried to, and that miss led to an easy Booker T basket.
So we'll play a little perimeter passing up top of the key. Then over to McKenzie. Outside for a reigning three ball. Hits the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Booker T. Here comes the Hornets. They're going to stop and pop for a three ball. That rim's out. Midwest City on a fast break opportunity in the transition. Comes on left side. And they'll start new.
Denson's last three-point attempt. That was a bit of a fadeaway. See if he can get a better look for three-point his next attempt.
Stevens drives the lane, splits two defenders, buck off the rim, no good. Back down the court for a loose one-on-one and a slam. Defensive. I'll tell you what, the effort right there by Brandon Dixon to make sure that the bucket wasn't going to be an easy one.
Well, he's a cornerback in football, and he's not afraid to be physical. And he kept the 2 points there. It was a clean, hard foul.
Yeah.
And we'll have some Toonie Bicehouse's free throws.
All right, so it's going to be the first time at the charity stripe. Toonie Bicehouses, we buy homes in any condition. If you or someone needs to sell a home for any reason, give them a call today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. First shot is good. First shot from the charity stripe.
We saw Highshaw, we talked about him as a shooter, but, I mean, he was making that shot as a, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong name. Booker T, that's Matulis. Matulis is a shooter, but he actually showed that he can run in the fast break there. And Midwest City has been out-transitioned a couple times, not something they're used to.
He's a tall 6'4", too, by the way. I mean, he's really lanky. I mean, you say 6'4", he doesn't look like it, but he's all legs. Midwest City Bombers on their end of the floor. Really kind of looking to see what they can get underneath. They're really coming up top to try to bait those defenders to come up and meet them. And Deshaun, little handoff over to Bubba. Then up top for a three ball, and a Bobby Lewis hit three by McKenzie is good.
He's gotten better and better as a three-point shooter. He would not have been shooting that shot last year.
So Matulis lets that one air for a three, and it back irons no good. Midwest City with a rebound. And now not really going quick down the floor. They're kind of patiently feeling each other out. Three ball as he gets the little pick exchange up top. Stevens with a rebound. Loose ball picked up, almost stolen by Midwest City. And now the Booker T. Washington Hornets on the drive. Goes coast to coast, right up and in for a deuce.
Harris, I mean, he can score in the paint. He's got a lot of strength to him, and he knows how to shoot with a soft touch in the paint, like I said.
The lead is just a bucket, 8-6. Midwest City with the ball, looks to try to drive. It's McKenzie, and then he tosses back over to Denson. Ooh, perimeter in the corner, tries to go baseline, come back up top. That's going to be over to Davis. Little handoff, exchange, one move, second move. tipped and then almost deflected by Mitchell. And here comes the Hornets. Back down by Booker T. Wide open three here on the near side. Rims out. Gets the rebound, though. Turnaround jumper off the glass. Falls up and good for Matulis. Now I got a whistle on the floor. Substitution coming in.
So they're bringing their best guard right now, or best guard off the bench, I should say, in Jarvis Nash. It's replacing McKenzie, who had made a three, but a couple other misses around the paint. But Midwest City is not playing with enough energy right now on defense, and that may be why they're bringing in Nash, because he will play with enough energy for two players.
This is the first of the three triple-header games that we've got. It'll be Dell City and Lawton High to conclude after this one, but an exciting rematch from last year's state title game. Midwest City crosses the timeline. Right corner. Oh, a nice bounce, like a little move there. Trying to get him to bait, but up top three. They're going to try to rain with threes, and they do, with Nash coming off the bench and hits a Bobby Lewis three ball.
So Midwest City's got 3 3-pointers. Booker T has scored 2-point baskets and free throws 5 times, and that's why we have this score. At some point, Midwest City needs to either tighten up our defense or start getting some twos consistently as well. They're not going to keep making threes at that rate.
Oh, wow. Wide open down the baseline, but a nice feed up and into Matulis. And Matulis has got the hot hand and another deuce to make it a 12-9 score.
He's got 6 points and no threes. It's been 2-point shots or free throws for Matulis.
I guess he's at the free throw line, so he's kind of taking what he wants. A travel is called. Yep. So a first turnover there for Midwest City. And now Booker T will try to see if they can take advantage with the lead and with the ball with 3:33 left to go here in the first quarter.
I want to thank Scrambled for being our first quarter sponsor. We're starting this game the way you should start your day. Scrambled, great place to go eat breakfast over in East Midwest City.
Booker T will cross the timeline here on the left corner, left side, on the top of the key, and they're going to say a hold away from the ball, and we're going to find out who this is on. It's going to be on number 3, possibly. Nash coming off the bench. He hits a 3 and also picks up one. That's going to be how many fouls? I'm going to try to look at where the fouls. Oh, there it is. One just over.
It's hard to read.
I know. I'll get my bearings here in a second. Oh, alley-oop pass and a slam dunk. No one was home on the backside. Goes over to Mitchell for the slam. And now Midwest City on a run. Booker T with a run, 14-9.
Well, they're getting whatever they want on offense right now. They're getting to the basket different ways and with ease.
He stutter moves, trying to get to the baseline, won't do it. Top of the key. Drives right. Little toss, little pass over. Little touch pass over to Dixon. And then he'll hand back off to Denson. Denson, a double dribble. Not a double dribble, but a change exchange, and there's a foul going in as he tried to split 3 defenders. Take your pick on this one.
That's a big call because he kind of, like you were saying, barreled into a couple defenders.
Yeah.
And if they didn't call that, Booker T was probably going to have another transition basket. We may be seeing Midwest City call a timeout. Instead, Deshaun Denson, again, this is how he was a big factor against Carl Albert on Friday. He got to the free throw line.
Bounced it a couple of times. First one up and in for your Toonie Buys Houses charity stripe. Buying homes in any condition. Call for a free cash offer. 405-931-3046. 14-10. It's just a 4-point lead, but it looks like Booker T's kind of having their way offensively, as we've seen in this opening end of the first quarter. Bending the knees up and in. That's one way to do it. Take all the free ones you can get. Now it's a 3-point contest. Booker T getting a little bit more pressure as he crosses the line. Turnaround jumper, it's good. Just smoking it is Lawrence Scott coming off the bench, and he contributes.
And not one of their starters, but that was an unusual jump shot he shot with confidence.
From way downtown, Denson misses with a 3, and a whistle down the floor with a push.
If that's on Nash, that's his second. You don't want him in foul trouble. That was Jones with a foul. He got to him before Nash bumped him. Midwest City needs a defensive stop here. They're not really offering much resistance to Booker T right now. Booker T is at least making it hard for Midwest City to get in the paint.
So we're going to see Scott little throws back to Mitchell. Mitchell will look back at the bench to get a new play call. Corner 3 here on the near side, nothing but net. And that's going to be a timeout, Midwest City. So the Bombers want to talk about it. And this is probably the best time to call a timeout because they're not only heated up, they got the 3, and that's a 30-second timeout. What if you're coach? What are you telling your team right now?
It depends on what they're doing on defense, but either way, the defense has got to move faster with more fluidity, more of a purpose. Again, they have not gotten many stops here the last few minutes. They get some early on, and then they need to figure out how to generate some offense, some more of getting into the paint. So Booker T has been shutting that down. So it's been a bad combination lately. That's how Booker T has stretched this lead to 8. Now last year, at different points in the first half, I think they were up by as many as 12 was Booker T. And then Midwest City started to figure some things out. So we'll see if they can do that here. Now they're going with a more regulars lineup. They're bringing Kenyon Brown in. He's a big man. Doesn't play much outside. So will they have enough guard power here to get something going on offense?
Largest lead for Booker T as Midwest City called the timeout, and down the floor they go. Right corner, kind of trapped up there, top of the key. Rolls left. Nice little dish pass underneath, bump off the glass is good for 2, and a nice delivery to Kenyon Brown. So Brown comes off the bench, and he gets the 2.
Yeah, he will finish around the basket. They're just going to play it on the opposite block or wherever the ball is, and at some point wait for the offense, his guards, to suck in the defense and pass it to him underneath. And he's gotten a lot of points this season from that. Midwest
City coming really up top to try to pressure a little bit on the exchange and kind of back out of that as they look back to the bench for a new play call as Lawrence Scott. And he'll dish off to Mitchell. Mitchell looks to drive outside corner, then dishes out to the left. Bounces off, but a nice rebound and a quick put back up. No good. It's a loose ball picked up, and Midwest City finally comes up with a rebound into the hands of Nash. Nash is going to try to go coast to coast. He will. Nice little move inside.
Whoa.
And a slam follow-up. There come from Denson.
Did not see that coming. He just came out of nowhere to stuff that home. Big sequence for Midwest City because Booker T was trying to score underneath. Bombers were able to get some transition there.
8-point lead is down to 4. Cut in half. 3 ball comes around the corner. No good. Rebounded by Midwest City. Here comes the Bombers on a fast break opportunity. 3-on-1. Waits for the defender. Backsides it. Then gets the rebound on the other end. Loose ball picked up. And then there's going to be a call for a jump ball down underneath right on the baseline.
Well, that's just an unfortunate series for Midwest City because
Kenyon
Kenyon
Brown. Basket. Man.
He had an easy 2. But he wanted to reverse sides and been doing that. He just lost track of where he was and didn't even hit the rim on that shot.
And then they got the rebound, and then it was kind of contested then on the floor, and then so the arrow will point to Booker T.
Yeah, the nice thing about the jump ball, at least for Midwest City, if you can hold the score, you'll be okay. You'll get the first possession of the second quarter.
30 seconds remain here in quarter 1 on this audio-only presentation on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Glad you could join us on YouTube and on Facebook. This is an NFHS exclusive video right broadcast. Final 15 seconds. Booker T with the lead and with the ball. Drives against 3 defenders, and there's a foul on the floor. And that's going to be a hold. Is it going to be on 3? Is it going to be on Nash? We'll see.
Oh, Jones. I think he's got 2, but I don't think that's as big of a deal as Nash if he got 2. And it's not going to be free throws for Booker T either.
Right. So it's going to be a 10 seconds play for the last shot. Perhaps, unless there was a steal, down to 6 seconds. Oh, and then a run and go, but almost run out of it. Inside, little up off the glass. What a move, right to finish it off is Simpson. Jamari Simpson just finishes it off after the miss. And it's 21-15 after 1. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
right, back here at the Big House. 1 quarter in the books. And it's Booker T with a 21-15 lead over your Midwest City Bombers. Second quarter brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings offers bongo wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. Check them out. Buffalo Wild Wings. It's a wings night. So, Midwest City Bombers will start off in the second quarter with the possession. They're in their gold Midwest City and black corner in the numbers. A loose ball off the rim is going to be picked up by Booker T. He's not waiting. It's a 2-on-2 run. And as he tries to readjust, Nash is probably going to pick up another foul.
Midwest City's just not playing the transition defense they need to when they don't convert. Denson tried to get an offensive rebound and lost the ball. At that point, the Bombers needed at least 3 guys to get back faster than that. And it's going to be another foul on Jarvis Nash. And Booker T will head to the free throw line. Chance to push this to 8.
And that's where it was in that earlier in the first quarter until Midwest City brought it back down to 4. Toonies Buys Houses charity stripe. Buy homes in any condition. Call for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. 7:41 here in quarter number 2 here at the Big House. Enjoying the festivities of all of the games, like some 60-some-odd games being played over all of the state championship runs of all the classes. It's 5 day to perform. They started at 9 a.m. this morning. Del City girls come up empty, and their season comes to an end. Carl Albert girls win over Bishop Kelly. A loose ball, almost stolen, but Midwest City will regain that right at the line. Bubba Davis, and we'll got a whistle over on the far end of the court.
Yeah, Booker T's pushing the Midwest City guards, not literally, but with defense, they're pushing the Midwest City guards far closer and closer to the timeline where they're just not going to be able to do much.
So Bubba Davis inbounds, and they go over to McKenzie. Little toss back over to Denson. Now we'll play this around. Fake the 3, looks to drive left, then continues to drive up off of the glass. Barely, but misses off the rim. Boy, when they quickly rebound in transition, they go quick. Here comes the Hornets. Booker T back up top. Start off with Mitchell. Back over to Sanders to Mitchell. Mitchell will drive right with 6:53. Just underway here in the second quarter. Up top to Sanders. And he'll give back immediately over to Mitchell, and he'll get caught in transition.
Yeah, you got Bubba Davis backpedaling, and then Stevens or Davis, and one of them had his hands on him. It is Bubba Davis who had his hands on him. Right went up for that shot. And again, Booker T's doing most of what they want in the half court right now.
So Mitchell will go to the line, shooting 2 in the Toonie Buys Houses charity stripe. Little bend to the knees, up and in. Make it 24. Going to try to make it a 10-point lead with this shot. That'll be the largest tonight. Remember, this was the clash of Midwest City's first state title in some time last year, and we're playing this in quarterfinals. So Mitchell connects with both of them. Midwest City, full court press. Almost misses as he had to toss that back over. But Stevens finally corralled that. He'll cross the timeline. Little bounce pass over to back up top over to McKenzie. McKenzie will drive against 3 defenders. He'll stop and he'll walk. So he wanted to do that plant foot. I knew what he was wanting to do with it, but he again ran out, and the defender was there.
Well, McKenzie's gotten better as a three-point shooter, but he's not really the type of ball handler that's going to create too much on his own, and that's what he's trying to do there. And so Midwest City needs to focus on the guys who can do that, which is Denson, who's been a little quiet now, and Davis as well. Maybe Caleb Stevens some, but they're not picking their spots to attack the basket.
Well, the lead is 10. It's the largest tonight. Midwest City looking to try to see what they can do. Is that a legal screen? What is?
No, it's going to be defending the screen foul on Bubba Davis.
Okay.
So it's going to be at least his second foul.
Midwest City picking up a couple, and coach will go to his bench, and he'll put he'll put out Dixon back in. Brandon, one of the original starters, got a little bit of a breather. Underneath their own basket, little bounce pass in traffic. It's stolen by Midwest City, and here comes the Bombers. Stevens, oh man, I know he just wanted to rifle it down to Dixon with a bounce pass, but it got caught up in the feet of 2 defenders.
Kickball, but yeah, that was a transition opportunity. You're hoping to get something out of. The Bombers have got to, again, take advantage of every scoring opportunity they have because they're not getting good shots right now in the half court.
Kind of having their way up to this point. And we're at 6:09 left to go here in quarter number 2. Underneath his basket, going to go out in traffic. There's 4 defenders. It's stripped and stolen by, and there he's going to say a whistle on the floor.
Quick foul on Midwest City. They're getting close to the penalty.
Yeah, it's not really a good position to be in.
I think they got 4. The font number for team fouls on that is really small.
Yeah, it's it's like, okay, you have to look at team fouls and looking at so many different graphics. It's wow, the exchange was deflected, but Mitchell stayed with it and then connected with the 2. Here comes the Bombers back down on the other end of the floor. The transition pass was deflected and stolen. Here comes the Hornets on a big run, and they're going to say a blocking foul on the way in. So Stevens is going to pick up his first. So now they put them in the bonus, and man, a bad time to do it with 5:44 left to go before the half. Every single time you're going to have an opportunity to shoot 2.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time left. There's a lot of time. Memphis has got to figure out how not to foul.
First shot is no good. Hits the front of the rim. So Harris. Timeout called by Booker T.
Timeout, Booker T.
30 seconds, so we'll keep it here. I mean, they're really just kind of having their way on both ends of the floor, and then, some of the shots, what's frustrating is Midwest City's wanting to try to get something going, and then either the pass is deflected or it's a kickball or, just something to have it ignite.
Yeah, well, they're not passing the ball well. They're not playing good team ball and offense right now, and Booker T has been effective at just muscling their way to the basket from the perimeter, too. They're not really posting up a whole lot. They did on their very first possession, but since then, they've just been muscling their way to the basket and getting pretty good shots, and Midwest City's not figuring out how to, stop them from advancing. The Bombers, it's a struggle for them to get in the paint, and when they do, they're kind of attacking recklessly.
Well, the lead is 12 and trying to make it 13 here, and that will still be the largest tonight as Booker T's finding their rhythm here in quarter number 2. Shot up and does not go in. It's rebounded by Midwest City and by McKenzie. And he'll hand back over to Denson. Back over to McKenzie. Man, see, and that's what I'm saying. You go baseline, you look to try it, but at least this time he's fouled on the way in. Because Caleb Stevens trying to make something happen. Really like the aggressiveness of trying to go low and underneath and just drive to the basket.
Yeah, that's a harder pass to make, so he was fortunate the foul was called if he tried to pass out of that double team because it looked like Booker T, they're more active in their hands.
Oh, that was pretty, and that he'll go hack a sack and go right straight to the line. But, those inbounds passes are very interesting of how you practice that, and Denson was free to go in, and then he was hammered on the way up.
Again, he's not hit a shot yet, as Denson, I don't believe, so he's doing what he can to get to the free throw line.
Well, let's see if he can bring this back to 10 with hitting the first one of the Tooney Buys Houses free throw. They buy homes in any condition. If you or someone needs to sell a home for any reason, give them a call today, 405-931-3046. Tooney Buys Houses.
By the way, we have another Middale game coming up to this. Del City taking on Collinsville, and that's a rematch of a game this year that was on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Yeah. Had some of that. I love how that works. So he connects in the second, so he doesn't get the first, makes it a 9-point lead, and Booker T is harassed with 2 defenders at the crossover line, gets over, and then a dish off for a 3 for Riley Williams. And so when it rains, it pours, and things are going Booker T's way.
doubling up the Bombers right now. It seems like they got guys comfortable making those shots in any spot right now.
Picked up outside corner, 3 ball on the way. No, misses the mark, but a rebound by Midwest City, and they're going to say, did he
jumped out
step
of bounds.
out? Just out of bounds, yeah.
Holloway anticipated the air ball by Brandon Dixon, I think, as he shot that. But he touched the baseline. Bombers trying to play a more full-court game right now. They're pressing, but, that led to an open 3 for Booker T on the offside. You got to give up something, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess that's you pick your poison, which one you're going to have, so they're still harassing him at the line, crosses it, but see it's wide open coming up, and just a nice little dish pass up off the glass softly for Harris Jr. for the deuce, and the run continues for the Hornets. From way downtown, 3 ball, no, rims out. Rebounded, then almost stolen by Midwest City on that pressure, but will finally get that across the timeline. Spin move up and in off the glass, but he's fouled on the way in. But that was the acrobatic move in the spin.
Yeah, the paint just seems wide open right now. It does. Wide open for Booker T.
Every time you look down there, there's not a body in there. There's not a gold jersey there.
And it seems very clogged right now when Midwest City has the ball.
At the line for Booker T, number 3.
So Jamari Simpson makes a nice acrobatic move. Makes Midwest City commit the foul. We already said in the bonus the rest of the way. Luckily back irons that one. And a substitution of 3 Bombers coming in to replace to get some little rest time. So coach going to his bench.
You got Nash back in, so that's the problem for Midwest City, that they're playing passive because they're in foul troubles. They're still committing fouls though. And you got Davis, Jones, Nash, all in the game right now with 2 fouls.
Simpson a little bent in the knees, up, and back iron's no good, but rebounded for the Bombers by Bubba Davis. Needs a little bit of help though as DeMario Jones crosses the timeline against 2 defenders. Here on the right top of the key. Back up top, and Bubba Davis will check out the defense. Still in that 2-3 zone, or kind of shifting that around. And Midwest City just consistent of doing a little bit more passing as the clock runs. Tries to air that. Now is a little bounce pass in, but a little bit too high off the glass. Loose ball picked up. Midwest City with the rebound. 3 ball on the way. Hits the front of the rim, no good. Gets the rebound, waits for traffic, and then is hacked on the way up. So a good wait for Holloway as he waits.
Ryan Holloway really was making some plays there on offense. He got in, he kind of drew the defense to him and got the ball to the high post very effectively to Brandon Dixon. And then when the shot didn't go up, he crashed the offensive glass, and he's one of the shorter players on the floor, but is able to draw fouls. And again, these are important possessions for Midwest City just to hang in there.
Toonie Buys House is charity stripe up and good for the first for Holloway. Chipping away at that lead, and they need everything they can get. Call 405-931-3046. They buy homes in any condition. You know someone that wants to sell for any reason? Give them a call for a cash offer today. So the second for Holloway. He takes his little time, puts it up, and it rattles in.
Bombers have made their free throws, but they haven't done much else. And especially this quarter, they haven't hit a three yet.
Double teamed, and it's going to be out.
That's the first time Midwest City's pressed anywhere it looked like it could work.
Yeah, I mean, they had him in a jam, but it went out of bounds after the deflection. So no harm, no foul, but we'll start again. Booker T will cross the timeline, drives left, and we got another picked up foul. That's going to be up by Dixon.
That was a little ticky-tack, but you got to just know that you're in the penalty. You can't reach. You got to be careful when you reach.
And you kind of, at this juncture of the game, you kind of know how they're calling it too. And if they're calling it that tight, then you got to really understand that. But sometimes, and I've seen Lawton High do that too, you just don't get away from who you are. And if you're physical, you're just going to play physical. Bend the knees, up and in. It's good for Harris.
Denson back in.
Harris, the leading scorer with 12.
Yeah. No one with more than 6 for Midwest City. It's Denson, actually, who's done it from the free throw line. He needs to make some field goals.
Second shot is also up and good. A little bit of press and pressure as the Midwest City Bombers will cross the timeline on the far end of the court. Back up to Nash. Little bounce pass over to Davis. Davis, he'll look for a little bit of help for Holloway. Holloway on the left side. Ooh, almost a run and gun steal. Put his hand in it was Mitchell, but he didn't get it free, and it just goes out of bounds.
Now, ideally for Midwest City, you'll know that, hey, Mitchell really went for a steal there. So now try to backdoor him if you can.
So we'll go way up over the timeline to come back for Jones to kind of reset with under 3 to go here before the half. So antsy Midwest City Bomber fans are saying, let's go. They want to get some kind of rhythm here for the gold and black. Look for the 3, eyes that one, and there's a commit to the defense. So he faked the 3, then make the drive, and then got a hit, and that's going to be his first foul, but it's the team 4th, so one more till they reach the bonus, and a timeout on the floor by the Midwest City Bombers.
Yeah, I think Coach Noel
30 seconds.
Using a second timeout, so you got to be careful with that because you're only going to have 3 heading into the second half, more than likely. But I think you want to get something on you need to find some type of consistency on offense. And so that's what this timeout's probably about.
So we mentioned this is a audio-only presentation, not that, all the comments are, why do we have to watch these two guys talk? And I said, well, I think most people understand if you followed the Oklahoma Sports Network long enough that when you get into this end of the playoffs, the NFHS has the exclusive video rights, and so we don't want to just ignore the game. So we want to bring it to you for free on an audio-only presentation.
Well, for free, and you still can see the score,
the
clock, and the quarter. So you're still getting a lot of information.
Stuff. And yes, I do know I have a face for radio. So I've known that because that's my background.
I got the hair for radio. That's why I'm covering up.
That's all right. All right, back to action after the timeout with Midwest City. They'll try to get something going. They've been harassed on the outside perimeter shooting, but when they go inside, they've tackled that too. So there's another loose ball tipped, and it's going to be stolen. Goes coast to coast, makes it up and in for the deuce as Simpson making it look easy on the defensive steal. Stops outside. Back up top for the Bombers. Lets that one sail away, and that's going to hear it from the fan base.
That Booker T layup came from a deflection and a steal. Midwest City is not doing that to Booker T. And they're, again, not getting any comfortable look. That three-point shot by Bubba Davis way too far out.
So Mitchell, he's guarded against Nash. He'll go cross, and he'll just get by him and then off of his knee.
A rare mistake for Booker T, but I think
he was trying to do a little bit too much.
Well, Nash probably made that initially difficult for him by just an effective reaching from behind.
Yep. So a little bit of a press from Booker T. Midwest City is able to get it over to Holloway. Holloway will cross the timeline with under 2 to go here before the half. Don't forget we got Del City and Collinsville and Lawton High and East Central. So get ready for a great night of basketball here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All of our OSN teams, we're so proud of how they've advanced, and these teams have been great against each other. Goes baseline, and then there's going to be a blocking foul on the way in.
Yeah, Matulis fell down, and that should be free throws for Bubba Davis. I don't know when the last time that Midwest City made a 2-point or 3-point field goal, but it's been a while.
Now, interesting that they've taken away what they feel comfortable with the outside shooting, and they're still committed to try to go underneath, and they're truly really trying to feed it inside the paint or get down low post, and that has not been able. It gets the first one in the Tooney Buys Houses free throw. Call 405-931-3046 for a cash offer. As Bubba Davis knocked the first one down, and number 2 up and in, makes it 36-21. About a minute and a half left to go before the half. Booker T kind of slowing the pace down a little bit. And, you know, before you always had fresh legs when you had to play 3 days in a row. It's very different. You guys talked about it in the earlier broadcast. They won't play again until Thursday.
No, it won't even be here.
That's right. You'll go back to UConn after a little day's rest, and then those winners will meet on Saturday afternoon at 4. Drives, and that should have been a travel, I thought. He got tied up. It could have been a travel, a jump ball, or a foul, and they picked the foul.
They called Denson, and Denson's frustrated. I don't see, again, I think that's a little ticky-tack.
Well, and
it's a bad time for that for Midwest City.
And I've seen a lot, and this year that being called a jump ball because he had just his hand on the ball just long enough to say that was clean. But they put him back to the charity stripe, and first one is good for Simpson. Brings it 37-21. Be a definitely adjustment at halftime to talk about this. But you know, there was a statement that I think Booker T, knowing that they lost the state title last year and played with the silver ball, that they had a little bit something behind that to play this game here in the quarterfinals. And we talked about it, loss of graduation and some kids moving, and that's high school. I mean, you're going to get that anyway. But those underclassmen remember it for sure. Simpson's shot's good.
Which was almost their entire team last year. So, and they look like an even more seasoned team this year.
Oh, nice little feed up underneath. It was lazy up and in for Kenyon Brown, who got the easy assist and a put back off the glass.
Yeah, he may have 2 of the only 2-point baskets for Midwest City this game.
And that's saying something. Oh, it's got stripped and stolen. Here comes Midwest City Bombers on the exchange. They got the numbers. Outside corner for a 3 ball. On the way, it's mixed its mark. And here it is. Just like that, a Bobby Lewis 3. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Del City. Just what the Midwest City Bombers needed was a 3 ball with the final 20 seconds before the half. Little Euro step inside the lane, no good. Rebounded by Midwest City. Here comes the Bombers. They can get an exchange with maybe a 4-point swing. Takes it all the way coast to coast. Up off the rim, no good. Rebounded with 6 seconds left to go. All alone on the other side. Here comes Booker T. Puts it up, and the putback up is no good. No score in the last 2 transitions down the floor to make it 38-26, and we are at the half. Wow. What an exchange there with those 2.
And that's Midwest City had that chance. Caleb Stevens just missed a layup. He's missed a couple. So he needs to work on his finishing here. But those type of transition opportunities have been so few for Midwest City. They have not gotten the stops that lead to that. So they got to figure out how can their defense generate offense out of the half.
Well, the other thing is, too, we want to remind you that you can download the app. Just it's free to download, free to watch on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just search on your Google or Apple Drive or your Apple devices, the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. YouTube, subscribe to us there and watch us there. And then also on Facebook. For those who are watching on our Facebook live feed, follow us there. Give us a share. Give us a comment there. Outside of why are we watching these 2 guys call basketball, we've already declared that. But people come in and out. They don't understand that the NFHS network has exclusive rights to video stream these games, and so we'll do an audio presentation for all of our OSN teams. It's halftime. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brumped it all right. What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
All right, back to action. It's a 38-26 halftime lead for Booker T. As we mentioned, a all-exclusive audio-only presentation on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And my name is Eric Sherm. Jordan Ray, right next to me, the basketball phenom of everything high school basketball. And we've been talking about these matchups in their podcast for so long, but not only with the lead, but with the ball to start second half is Booker T trying to avenge last year's state championship and their runner-up trophy. So Mitchell's going to get the ball as an inbounds, and he'll be back top of the key to start third quarter action.
Bombers go in zone, but for the most part, Booker T has had an answer for any type of defense the Bombers have played.
Oh, and then try to go right on the baseline. He's going to step out. Third quarter, mind you, is brought to you by Patrick Newby's. Newby with Farmers Insurance, the Newby Agency, locally Oklahoma Farmers Insurance agent. Over 40 years. Office located at 29th and Air Depot. That's a foul on the way in. Is
on the floor, I think.
Before he tried to commit. Come by and see them or give them a call, 405-733-7671. 405-733-7671 for a free quote today.
Good give and go there with Chance Davis and Mason McKenzie. They need to get good movement this Midwest City without the ball.
So we got Nash, little exchange back up top for Denson. Rifled, and just gets out of the hands of Dixon. So it was a pass over here to the near corner from where we are, and it just goes out of bounds. So an unfortunate turnover to start the second half.
Dixon would probably tell you should have caught it, but Mason needs to throw it closer to his chest. It's a chest pass, meaning you want to throw it from your chest, and it needs to land at the chest of the player throwing it to.
Mitchells and Sanders will play a little bit of round ball passing as Metillus will do the same thing. He was kind of hot in the first quarter, and we've not seen much from him. For Booker T, he tries to skate his way inside and then back out of the paint, try to get a give and go. Little stop and pop action from 15, no good. Rebounded, and the Bombers come back on the other end of the floor.
Well, Jarvis Nash is starting this quarter with 2 fouls in place of Caleb Stevens.
From way downtown, but misses the mark, and a loose ball and a tie-up and a jump ball call.
Well, Bubba Davis has shot some long-distance threes, and he probably needs to stop at the moment. Get something along the three-point line if it's open. Otherwise, attack the basket. He's one of the guys who can create shots for Midwest City.
So the possession arrow will stay with the Bombers. And they're switched end of the floor, and they're in their gold with black. Oh, nice little pass, just quick as Nash came in off of his defender. Puts it up off the glass for 2 to make it a 10-point contest. So a little bit of a run for the Bombers here as they were down by 16. Stop and pop, no good. Rebounded Midwest City. So sometimes you can take the foot off the gas, so to speak, emotionally, and you can't get that back. So maybe a run for the Bombers here. They look, go straight up, reverse layup, up and in off the glass for 2 is good, and the Bombers are on a run.
Jarvis Nash saw that Metillus was giving him baseline, and he exploded with a great reverse layup. Now the Bombers playing with more energy, better offensive execution.
Yeah, timeout is called.
First 2 possessions here of this, or two of the first 3 possessions of this third quarter.
Yeah, and he walked it across the timeline, and Coach was disgusted, and he said, you know what? I mean, and they're kids. You get a run, you're thinking, oh, man, everything's just going our way. We can do everything we want to on offense and defense, and this game is ours. And then you look at the scoreboard, and that 16-point lead has now been cut in half. It's now 8.
Eli Brown, the coach for Booker T. Obviously, they have a rolling right now back in 5A. They used to be in 5A for a bit, and then they were 6A, and then 6A state champions in 2019. But they and Midwest City came back to 5A at the same time for basketball. And should be a good rivalry if they keep playing, because year after year I think they're going to both programs are going to be contending to get to state. And both have similar makeups, really good athleticism, able to play fast. Oh, Nash.
Oh, Simpson and Nash deflected that, and it just went out of bounds. But, man.
Almost every other player on that pass, Eric, would have been like, okay, it's going to be caught. I'm not going to even try. Jarvis Nash makes attempts at things other players don't on defense, and a lot of times he's successful, even though that deflection went out of bounds.
Yeah, Mitchell drove left, then tossed back over to Simpson. He eyed that alley-oop down below, and they took that one away. Looks to drive, splits 2 defenders, and there's going to be a whistle on the floor with a push.
Leon Dixon.
And that's going to be his 4th. Right?
That's his 4th personal.
Yeah, that's his 4th. So he's got one more for cashing in a night. So you got to be careful, and he'll go to the bench to be reminded of that.
Okay, Caleb Stevens is coming in for him. He's actually a more skilled offensive player, and he needs to make that happen. He needs to show that he can make things happen on offense. He's been quiet this game.
Mitchell back over to Harris. Harris makes the drive. And then
Charge
offensive.
And that's what was missing. You just have defenders for Midwest City who will not let you do what you want. They're going to stay with you. They're going to get in your way. They're going to draw a charge. Jarvis Nash, as he often does, is making a big difference.
Long court pass. It was like a football pass down against 2 defenders. Puts it up and in. So the N1, it was an airmail delivery half across the court. And there was still 2 defenders, and he took that on and up and in.
It's worth mentioning Jarvis Nash had his best game of the season against Booker T last year, and he is making plays again now in the second half. In fact, against Carl Albert, we called him our second half player of the game. Our first half was Mason McKenzie because they both had such pronounced good games in those halves.
Well, the Toonies buys houses charity stripe for the N1 makes the 3-point swing.
And Nash has gotten better on offense. He went 1-on-2 there. He caught that between 2 players and finished. It was just very impressive.
So if you left the game thinking this was over with a 16-point lead, we got a game here in the 3rd quarter. Midwest City said we're still reigning state champions until someone beats us. From downtown, 3, back irons, no good. 2 defenders up, but it's Midwest City Bombers with the rebound. Into the hands of Stevens. Oh, gets tied up on that far side of the court. Finally gets that back out as he gives McKenzie and then back up top to Stevens. Stevens will regroup, look back to coach for a new play call. Drives left, toss out, back up top. Then we're going to drive with perimeter passing outside until they find what they like. It's kind of stripped, and it's a loose ball on the floor.
Well, Coach,
a timeout was called by Midwest City.
Coach Newell wanted that possession, but now they're down to 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
So you love that. I love that call in the 3rd quarter when you have all your timeouts left. But when you're down to only 2, I get why he did it. They have momentum. They want to keep that possession.
It's a full timeout. So we'll take it with them. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
Welcome back to Jim Norick Arena, the last dance here at the Big House. And first time 5A and 6A are here. A nice steal, though.
Yeah, Stevens telegraphed that.
And another steal coming back the other way. It's a 2-on-2. Up and in off the glass for 2 is good for the Midwest City Bombers, and they cut back in that lead. We've got a ball game, 38-35.
It's amazing when you have teams with this level of speed and athleticism. They can catch up in a hurry. And Midwest City's done this without a made 3.
And a steal, and he stepped out of line.
Yeah.
Midwest City read that pass, and he'll tell you what a difference a half makes. And I think Booker T came in with, I think we got it type mentality. In Midwest City, they had nothing to lose but just fight.
Yeah, because of that turnover by Stevens, even though it ended up leading to a basket for Midwest City. DeMario Jones will check back in. There's a bit of a confidence crisis right now with Caleb Stevens. Hopefully, I'm hoping for him to get one more shot if this game goes down to the wire.
We're halfway through this third quarter. Booker T has 3 fouls. Midwest City only 1 in this quarter. So a reverse of what we saw in the first half as they try to go down below up top, round ball corner, 3 ball on the way. Rims out, loose ball picked up by the Bombers, looking to find their way. A little bit of pressure. I know some fans are screaming for a foul, but they're playing aggressive. Goes baseline, runs out of room, has to throw that out on the other end.
We have not called Denson's name. He has the ball right here.
Denson stops right there at the free throw line and up for 2. And just like that, it's a 1-point ball game, 38-37. We got a long way to go in this one, so if you packed it up and left, you went too early.
I can make prophetic comments sometimes, Eric, if you didn't know.
And Booker T calls that out.
He didn't force a tough 3. We got another full timeout, by the way, but he shot a good pull-up shot from the free throw line, another part of his arsenal.
All right, we'll be back right after this at the Jim Norick Arena at the Big House on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Turn of events, and coaches will say it's the nature of 2 halves. What you see in the first half, you can throw out because they're going to make adjustments. They're going to make some adjustments here and there, and that's exactly what Midwest City done. And then they got the enthusiasm back, which they kind of lacked in that first half, and now things are opening up. Remember I told you some of those bounce passes, those transition things weren't working? They still stayed with it, and now they're converting those.
Yeah, I was kind of marveling at how few 2-point baskets Midwest City had for much of the first half. They got a bunch this half.
So after the timeout from Booker T, we'll start off with just a 1-point lead with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
I expect Booker T to run some type of set play against this zone, but I'm not seeing it really happen yet.
So they'll round ball that, and he'll take 1 step up inside. No good, but the putback up rolls out. No. Loose ball, then stolen by Midwest City. When I say stolen, took it right out of the hands of Matillas. Goes baseline the other way, Midwest City, but the follow-through is good.
I didn't expect them to take the lead this early if they were ever going to do it.
So Denson takes the first-time lead for the Midwest City Bombers, 39-38 with 2:28 left to go here in the third. Oh, boy, a little push-off with the elbow. Got away with one offensively, and now another
Mario
one.
Jones drew that charge. I can't believe Booker T's had this much trouble scoring. I don't know if they have scored this quarter, actually. We have the stats with us.
They get the 14 fouls now.
No, they have not scored. Booker T has not scored this quarter.
It's all been Midwest City. And the Bombers have found a miracle third comeback. They call it Bomber Magic if you've been around Midwest City long enough to know what that means. Bounce pass.
Right. Denson just threw a little bit too far ahead of Jarvis Nash, who got open on the backdoor.
Give and go, backdoor right there on the baseline, but doesn't connect and it goes out of bounds. So Booker T playing with a little frustration. Called a couple of timeouts already to try to cool his team off.
Well, we haven't reached the fourth quarter yet, and both teams are down to only 2 timeouts. That's very rare. Usually teams have more of an arsenal of timeouts heading into the fourth quarter of games.
So it will be on the floor from way downtown, 3 ball, and that rims in and out. But then a foul on the rebound coming back down from Lawrence Scott, who is rebounding.
Yeah, Matillas, he was really good from 3-point range last year in the state championship game. I don't think he's made one. And Bombers have dodged some bullets, but Booker T's missed some good shots here.
Simpson back over to Mitchell, who was the hot hand in the first half. He gets tied up in a foul.
I don't see how McKenzie got that foul, but that's what they call.
That's going to be his first.
Mason McKenzie, that's his first. Team number 3.
And it's the team third.
So maybe not really a problem here.
So no, and they're not. Either team, Midwest City will be in the bonus here with the next one. And boy, they really put the defense in. One swatted away, the other one a high, low post defense, which was really incredible.
Nash anticipated that dribble and came over to deflect it from, I believe that was Simpson. Unfortunately for him, he was out of bounds, but he stopped what could have been an easy 2 points for Booker T. Still looking for their first points. Offense looked so easy for them in that first half. Now it's just changed so much. It looks so hard for them at the moment.
So it took a little time, and then a hand up, and it's deflected and goes out of bounds by Nash. Nash is just all over the floor tonight.
I don't know how he even got his hand on that.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's the type of player he is. You just don't want to take him out because no one else does those things on defense.
At 5'11", you don't look at that. You look at his vertical. It's not really the measurement. It's the bounce. So back up for Booker T is Mitchell. A lot of nervous people in this gym with $1:38 left to go. Winner will advance to the semifinals in Yukon on Thursday. Looks to drive, stops, and pops. And finally, the man that we said was quiet was Matulis. Mason Matulis, the tall 6'4", all-leg young man, took this outside shot for the two, and they finally got their first bucket coming at the less than 1 minute 17 mark of the third quarter. Tried to force that one up high as Nash. Rebound Booker T. And there's a foul on the floor.
And it's on Denson for the reach-in.
That's number 5, Deshaun Denson, the second, his third.
Denson's going to pick up his second. It's going to be the team fourth.
I think it said third foul, but they say Deshaun Denson the second, so they make it sound like it's his second foul. But that's part of his name.
Yes, okay, I got you. So it is his third.
So the Bombers now in the penalty. They need to be really smart here. You know Booker T's due for a run. They need to make it as small a run as they can.
They're going to round ball perimeter. They got the hot hand. Matulis, he comes up with an air ball, but they get the rebound back in his hands. Rifled out corner for a three. Hits the side rim, no good. Midwest City on the loose ball exchange.
We couldn't hear it, but
foul.
Bubba Davis got fouled, and thank God if he didn't, that would have been poked away and 2 points easy for Booker T.
So Booker T reclaims the lead with that last one, and now they lead by one.
So Chance Davis can hit some Toonie Vice houses, and they will able to back up. Bombers went 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the first half. They haven't come. This comeback does not really include many free throws.
No, call them for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Shot up and in. That's good for Nash, or Davis, as Bubba connects there. Much needed to tie this ball game up at 40 apiece. Remember, it was 38 points for Booker T at the half. That means they've only made one bucket, 2 points in 8 minutes. It's all been Midwest City in the third quarter. Second shot up, rattles in and out. Booker T with the rebound with 2 defenders down below. And the final 44 seconds here of the third quarter. Both teams don't have a lot of timeouts, as you mentioned, for a fourth. Outside shot for a 3-ball is no good. Loose ball picked up by Booker T, then stripped and stolen by Midwest City casually. And there's a foul on the floor.
And Nash probably shouldn't have done that. He's just got over-aggressive there. It's going to lead to free throws for Booker T.
That will be his third.
I think Midwest City's given up some offensive rebounds here when the shots miss long. They need to try to not get too far in the basket when a three-point shot goes up for Booker T. But, you know, when you do all the things Jarvis Nash does, sometimes you're going to be too aggressive.
Simpson to the line, shot up and in. Student section from Booker T, up and excited, because they have been quiet here in the third quarter. There wasn't as much to cheer about for the Hornets.
We got the Bomber fans on our side.
Yeah, they are right behind us.
We will not have the Del City and Lawton fans, though. We'll have their opponents.
Yeah.
For the next couple of games.
Second shot by Simpson, a little bend in the knees, up, and this one's good. So the lead is now just a bucket, 42-40 with the final 28 seconds left to go. Here comes Midwest City. Outside. here on the corner. Back out top, down below. Takes that, and a charge is called.
Matulis flopped. It should be obvious to refs, but they get suckered by that. And
well, anytime you take that big one hard bounce, and that's what he did. He bounced it hard on the floor.
So you got to make sure you don't lead with your shoulders. So perhaps Kenyon Brown did that too much.
And the final 16 seconds remain here in the third, and strap yourselves in for the final 8 minutes of this one. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and that's not a possession you love because that's not really Kenyon Brown's strength. You're throwing the ball in the post. He can do that, but that's not really how Midwest City scores or how he scores his points. They need to get the ball into Denson's hands again look for him to create it. He has only tried to do that once this third quarter, and he scored. His team came back anyway.
Jock Mitchell guarded. He gets the pick, rolls around left, bounces off the rim. Loose ball picked up. He's going to step on the line, though.
And in a game this close with 5 seconds, Bombers need to try to get a good shot here. They got time. They're going to bring Bubba Davis back in to help him out.
Set that up.
And again, if you can find Denson. Now, I should mention Denson's being guarded really tightly. They're not really helping off him very much, so it's hard to get him the ball when it's like that. But
Caleb Stevens will check out as
I'll look
Bubba
for
comes
Nash,
in.
too.
Long court pass. We saw this earlier. One bounce pass, and a move.
A charge on
offensive
Denson.
charge is going to be called on Denson. Denson was going to really make something happen with a one-on-one going up to the rim, and he puts the contact, and he's going to get number 4, and that's very dangerous because you're going to need him for the fourth quarter. So do you set him for the first 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth?
I think you do.
Because you're going to need him for that second half, and, if you even talk overtime, I watched a Chattanooga girls semifinal game that 3 of them all fouled out right at the buzzer, and they say no. The shot went in, but it was still in his hands. 42-40. It's a Booker T. Washington lead by a bucket. We'll be back with the fourth right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Back to Jim Norick Arena, and it's the last dance here at the Big House. The new facility from the outside looks gorgeous. You can see it from the interstate. It's right next to this one, and it's amazing that this will be rubble after a while when they tear that down after 59 years, 60 including this one.
This is where Midwest City, Del City, and Carl Albert have graduation. So it is a familiar place to me, but not for a basketball game.
Well, yeah, it's been quite some time. So strap yourselves in. We've got a 1-bucket lead by Booker T, and it is 8 on the clock, and we're starting with the last, unless you see overtime right here with Booker T with the possession arrow. Makes one little move, goes up, and it's a nice selection, but he misses it. Midwest City Bombers on the rebound. Here they come quickly down the floor. Sits the corner, looks for the eyeball 3 down below. Turnaround jumper is good.
Nice. I was kind of saying that's not his game to post up for Kenyon Brown, but he made a really good move there. And he wasn't so physical that he committed a charge.
All tied up at 42 apiece. Man, that almost sailed out of bounds. Is trying to go over to Matulis. Loose ball, and they're not getting the shots. Transition, a 2-on-1. Reverse layup and the and 1. What a great delivery from Jamario Jones.
This is a great sequence for Midwest City, not just because they're taking the lead, but they're doing it with Denson on the bench. And also Stevens, well, he's played a little bit here and there, but Mason McKenzie on the bench as well.
So Jones is going to try to connect with the 3-point swing, and your free throws by Toonie Buys Houses. by Holmes in any condition. Ask for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. He bounces that out and misses the opportunity to try to get the three, but they lead by a bucket with 7 minutes left to go here in the fourth and final period. Goes strong to the hoop, and he is trying to do too much, and that is Mitchell, who had a first great half. Transition, nice little floater inside the lane for the Bombers. Bomber magic coming to life, 46-42 with the lead.
This is unbelievable. Booker T back to missing some shots they were making so consistently in the first half.
Now for a three ball, that rims out. So they're trying everything to try to see who's got the hot hand, and it's really Midwest City. Coming back down, stops and pops, that rims out. Oh, that would have really ignited this crowd behind us. Fast airmail delivery, and that's stripped and a hack. Coming down on the other end of the floor, I thought it was just going to be stripped and out of bounds.
It's early in the quarter, so that should be on the floor. That's a pretty good foul for DeMario Jones.
It's only going to be the first, only one for either team, so nowhere close of any kind of bonus action. The trail out is Harris. Round ball, they're going to try this with a three, and he connects. This time as Matulis. So Matulis connects.
Bobby Lewis three. You knew it was a matter of time before Matulis would hit one.
Well, he had it in the first quarter and then kind of went quiet there, and there's a ticky-tack call right there. Oh, it's over. Carry. He carried that over. So he had that transition with his hand in the ball, and you don't really see the carry much called. Occasionally you will. Of course, we're in an all or nothing, the final 8 in the state of a class of 32. And this is the best 8 on the floor, and we've had a good one tonight to start 5A quarterfinals. Nice delivery inside against 3 defenders, up and in off the glass for 2. Gives it kind of a little bit of a look back to this Midwest City Bombers. Said, hey, we're back here, as Simpson puts it in for a deuce.
Kenyon Brown's got to come to that play a little sooner than that.
Tries to deliver inside the paint, outside, goes baseline. Oh, nice bounce pass, gets tipped around though, stolen by Booker T. Fast break opportunity all alone, and up just off the glass for 2 is good by Harris, and now the swing comes back the other way. Booker T has finally found some of those connections, and they lead 49-46.
Well, that three-pointer by Matulis was huge, but also this is not, the Bombers now probably need to think about getting Denson back in.
Yeah, it's at the 5-minute mark. Probably one more minute. Ooh, eyes the three, and they're going to say, oh, a travel.
I had the right idea, but you got to, that pump fake, you have got to keep your feet planted. Yeah. Very short break for Jarvis Nash. How much longer are they going to go without Denson in? And on defense now, they got to be thinking about how they can start to protect the paint, especially when Harris goes to the basket.
It's the rematch of last year's state title game where Midwest City won the state title in basketball, and we were there on the Oklahoma Sports Network to experience that. Doesn't wait, goes into 2 defenders, and you can pick.
It's too. Brown's too far in the basket, and he needs help from a couple guys behind him who squeeze in on that zone. But
even officials going to talk to Mr. Brown and kind of, he was kind of asking for an explanation. And Simpson will go to the line shooting 2. So basketball, of course, as we know, a game of runs. And boy, Midwest City really had it. The Toonie buys houses. Charity Stripe up and in for the 1, 405-931-3046. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, give them a call for a cash offer today. 5-minute mark of this one, unless there is an OT. A couple of bounces up and in. Just nails that one is Jamari Simpson.
9 straight points for the Hornets.
Simpson's got 13. He leads, or 14 rather. He leads the team for Booker T. Tries to get the steal. Midwest City goes strong to the hoop, and a blocking foul, and we're going to go to the line. Is it on the floor? No, bucket counts. The bucket counts, so a 3-point swing for the Midwest City Bombers coming the other way.
So Scott went for the steal. Lawrence Scott for Booker T on Nash. When he missed, Nash caught it and just went strong to the basket. He's had an unbelievable half. Gets the finish there.
And now the problem for Midwest City is on defense. Booker T has found that comfort zone again that they had in the first half.
They'll try to make this a 1-bucket lead with this 3-point swing. If he goes in, it does.
Jarvis Nash.
So Nash connects. A 2-point lead for Booker T, and we've got a long way to go in this one. We're not even halfway through this fourth period. Here at the Big House, playing quarterfinal basketball on a Monday afternoon. We couldn't think of anything better. A lot of excitement in these gyms. Long ball 3. Nails that one. And he gives a little kiss sign to Sweetness as Sanders hits with a 3 to extend the Booker T lead. Now we're going to little round ball that up. Get up to McKenzie. McKenzie from way downtown.
I don't know about that shot.
Back off the glass and the rim, and that goes no good. So trying to make something happen. They're going to come trail back the other way for a 3-ball, no good. Put back up for the rebound, no good. This time, big rebound.
Brown lost it. And didn't call a foul. Brown just got it knocked away from him. He's got to be.
And Brown had the great rebound, but then you got to watch. Those pickpocket artists are right next to you coming down with that. You know, I always say chicken wing it. Put your arms out, to really guard against that. And we'll go to the line. Shot up and in for Harris. Harris has got 16. Of course, we said that he leads the team. Followed by Simpson, who's got 11. Second shot from Harris. And that is no good. 3:49 and counting. Cross the timeline. Midwest City going to take this coast to coast. Nice little move inside, and Jarvis Nash connects up off the glass. The bank is open. 55-51.
Boy, he can explode more than any player.
Air ball. I mean, it's an air delivery mail and a hang up, and they're going to say an offensive foul.
That could have been on Bubba Davis, the foul, and that would have been his 4th. And Midwest City has not been getting stops.
They got one there, and that was a big one to get.
Unbelievable anticipation on the part of Bubba Davis. That was a big-time rotation there to get him in position to draw that charge.
Okay, they're going to slowly walk this across with no pressure. Bombers with the ball. 55-51 with 3:21 left to go here in the fourth.
And they don't want to call a timeout yet. They only have 2.
Nash hands back to Jones. And look who's back in the ball game now is Denson, who with 4 fouls came back in. Denson's got to be a little careful, but a 3-ball in the corner rims in and out. Rebound, Booker T. Tried to get a flop on that one. Yeah, you're right, against Denson. Up inside the lane, and this time it's
jump ball.
Hammer time.
Bubba Davis has been making some plays on defense.
And what did I say earlier? I said, in the way that I said could be called 3 ways, you could call that jump ball, you could call it, and they call it jump ball this time. Possession arrow, Midwest City. Going to go up against 3 defenders up off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Booker T. Coming down the court, wide open. Delivery up off the glass, and he's fouled on the way. So a little unselfish is Matulis.
Yeah, Nash and Davis are having a conversation about, Davis wanted that shot. He was open he wasn't wide open, but he was set up in the corner when Nash attacked the basket to his left, and Nash has had a great game, but again, you're trying to finish. He doesn't try to finish with his left hand when he goes to his left, and sometimes that can lead to a really tough shot.
4-point lead makes the 5. Booker T led as much as 16. It was an ugly second quarter where Midwest City trailed. And then Booker T only scored 1 bucket, 2 points in the third quarter, and Midwest City made a run. But then they found their groove back, and it's 57-51. 2.5 minutes, so you got to do something here if you're Midwest City and try a little Bomber magic. Denson gets a little bit of help with a pick. He rolls left. Wide open from the pick artist, and a charge is called
I'm not going to say that's a flop on Matulis. That's Brandon Dixon lowering his shoulder, making it obvious.
And that was the thing. It was kind of almost a football move, and you described it right. He did lower his shoulder as opposed to just playing through.
Okay, so now Caleb Stevens going to get another shot here. I shouldn't say one more, but another chance. So he's coming in. This is probably the 5 best offensive players for Midwest City in right now as far as talent ability.
And the pressure will be put on. Got 2 more games after this one, Del City and Lawton High, so stay tuned on the network for more basketball with 2:18 left to go here in this one, unless you were to see an overtime game. Midwest City needs something to happen to kind of go in their way. They're playing keep away and stall ball, trying to kind of back this out and milk the clock. 2:07 left to go. Drives left, dish out, pass inside the lane. That's a travel. Yes, you indeed took the extra step, and that's going to be a turnover going the other way.
That's why you might keep playing stall ball. They decide to go to the bat, be aggressive, and sometimes that works for you, sometimes it doesn't.
Well,
but now Denson with the ball, he's got to do something.
Yeah, you got to convert on every one of these possessions now. You can't come up empty, and he tried to go for a 3, loses the ball, pass off. Oh, man, that's going to be a charge. And that's going to be on Nash.
A little too out of control there.
That's going to be his 4th. So Nash picks up 4.
As good as he is, he doesn't really have the game where he, can go to a jump stop and shoot something off the glass.
Yeah, if you could get a steal or a 3, you could make something interesting. But 1:45 and counting. Booker T kind of feels the momentum coming back their way. Tries to make a step inside 2 defenders, going baseline, gets fouled inside the paint. And they're in the bonus now for the remainder of this quarter. Audio-only presentation, by the way, and that's because the OSSAA has NFHS as exclusive video rights. So if you want to watch that, pay the $12 or whatever it is, or you can listen for free for these other 2 games concluding after this one. Bend of the knees up and bounces once and in. So everything going their way, Booker T's way. In the latter part of this 4th quarter, it's a 7-point lead. And they feel the sense that they're going to be playing in UConn on Thursday unless Midwest City can come up with something with $1:38 left to go. Making a rally for it. The defending state champions, Midwest City Bombers, up against the ropes against the team that they had to beat last year for that win, Booker T. Outside 3, needs to try to make it. Hits the rim, no good. The put with the defense is there. And now they're really going to stall this down with 1:19, and you already forced them with a foul. You're going to go to the line. Little delivery says, forget that. He goes up, and a charge is called for Booker T. What an exchange as Simpson is called. And that's going to be his 3rd. And that's going to be putting Midwest City now next foul into the bonus, but regardless, it's only $1:10 left to go. Now they're going to have to go with a little bit behind. They can't really take 1 minute left here at the Big House. Going to go strong to the hoop, and they're going to say a charge is called.
Boy, it's been a charge fest this quarter.
Nash is going to get called for, he's out. That's going to be his 5th. Coach kind of gave his little, are you kidding me kind of thing. Didn't really argue it, but kind of gave his displeasure. As Coach Noel says, really? It's a quarterfinal game, really? But the final under a minute chant for Booker T to try to celebrate and move on to Thursday's matchup. Down to 51 seconds, and you got a foul just to stop the clock and get him on the line. Caleb Stevens with a reach in there. That's his 2nd.
Yeah, the Bombers just had too many empty offensive possessions this quarter after they got up by 4. They just...
Yeah, an exciting 3rd quarter. And, you know, nature of runs in basketball, and it's so frustrating because you play the if, ends, and buts game, which you don't do, but, just like you said, what they needed to do, they couldn't finish out in the 4th. Shot up and good. Toonies buys houses free throws. They buy homes in any condition. 405-931-3046. Second shot is also good. So we're back to a 9-point lead. They were up by 16. Then the Midwest City Bombers were up in the 3rd quarter. And there's going to be a ticky-tack foul as trying to go strong to the hoop, trying to still make something happen is Denson. And they'll put Denson to the line to close that out.
Yeah, Denson just hasn't done much this quarter. But you have to hand it to Jock Mitchell. He's been guarding him almost the entire time.
Bend the knees up, rolls in and out. In, rolls with the shooters. Back glass in. Second shot coming up. Up and in. So Denson, 60-53 with the final 43 on the clock. We'll have to try to get with a full court press. That's going to leave only one man down below with 38 seconds left to go. Oh, it's almost stolen as he bounced past that up at the top of the key, and then there's a foul. Bombers have to foul as DeMario Jones.
Oh, he fouls out.
Yep, so Jones has 5. He's done. Good little run. And you know what? You got to say, with all of what Midwest City had to do, even to get back to this point, you got to give a lot of credit to them because they went down to Lawton High and Del City. Then they came back and avenged those with a double overtime win against Del City. You know, even with their losses, they still found a way. And then, you know, in the consolation round, they had to do it. And they did it in fashions against MacArthur, and then they did it against Carl Albert, you know. And so,
yeah.
I mean, just to get to this point, I know there's a consolation, but, you know, consolation winner to get here to take on an area winner, and you gave them a scare in the third quarter.
And early in the fourth. But I think, Midwest City finished fourth. And now the fact they got to stay very impressive. Bubba Davis makes a 3.
That was way. I mean, that is way off the mark. I'm going to just put it up there in a 3 ball from Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great weights with 2 locations to serve you at Choctaw, 405-281-6700, and Del City at 405-670-3665. 30-second timeout. So they hit the 3. Well, you got to do it again. It's a steal and another 3 quickly.
Right. And just very tall order. And so for Midwest City, you know, they rely on a lot of seniors. They'll have some good returning players if this is it for them. Jarvis Nash, really going to miss watching him play because he blossomed into an unbelievable player on both sides of the ball, but especially on defense. Also, Mason McKenzie, DeMario Jones, first time we've seen him play this year. It was this year he really didn't play in last year. Bubba Davis, a move-in. And Brandon Dixon as well started to play more and more. They're going to return some key players. Kenyon Brown, if he really could get after it in the offseason, at 6'5", could become a really good player next year, and he'll probably get more minutes. Caleb Stevens, he's got a lot of offensive skills, needs to be more consistent. Brian Holloway, I think, has a lot of potential as a point guard. And, of course, they're going to bring back their 1,000-point scorer, Deshaun Denson. So they have some things to look forward to, but they're going to need some other players like Anthony Dixon and Keelan Jenkins to develop, and they could have a nice score for next year.
Well, 22 seconds, they just got to call a foul.
Well, they had some communication issue on defense. They should not have allowed that pass to be made so easily. Now, you got to deny that with this much time left.
And the Toonie Buys Houses charity stripe. I want to thank them for their support all year. And stay tuned. They're going to be called out many times in the Del City game, which is coming up in the conclusion of this one against Collinsville. And then at 7:30, Lawton High, new familiar to 5A, coming down from 6A, and the first time that they've made to state since 2009. So we'll have that game against East Central. From way downtown again, it misses the mark, off the rim with 12 seconds left to go.
That should do it.
And then they will just ring him out with 9 seconds. And he just gets rejected.
Well,
he was going to showboat, try to slam it, and there was going to be none of that coming from Bubba Davis. He says, not in this house.
No, I mean, he's playing his last game, and they're going to give him a block on that, not a foul.
Okay. So 3 seconds, they'll hold it, and they'll celebrate, and that will be the conclusion. So the defending champions will not be defending their state title. They go down in a quarterfinal loss to Booker T as Booker T avenges last year's state title game at Lloyd Noble in Norman. And the Bombers' season comes to an end. And for our OSN teams, it's kind of like this. You get here to this special time and started at 9 o'clock this morning. You were here for that. The Del City girls came up empty, but they kind of put themselves in that position to be in that constellation to play a tougher East team, and that was a Booker T girls team. And then followed up by Carl Albert, who got their win over Bishop Kelly. And then we'll have a great one with Del City and Collinsville, and then Lawton High will be taking on East Central.
Yep, I feel bad Midwest City couldn't defend their state title, but there's times, of course, this year I wonder if they would get to state. And, the problem is, of course, in losing the regional championship to El Reno, that put them in a position where if they did get to state, they'd have to play probably the best East team or one of the two best East teams in the first round, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So their goal needs to be next year, same as Del City girls, win the area championship, play one of the lower-seeded East teams, and then you can survive maybe an off game, and then you can worry about a top East seed in the second round or the state, and who knows what happens at that point, or a good team from the West as well. Once you get to the Final Four, everything's tough.
Oh, I know.
But in the first round, you can get some easier opponents. We may be seeing that in the Del City game coming up.
And that's what we're going to expect. So we're going to close out this broadcast, and you can click on the Del City channel. For those who are watching on YouTube, subscribe there. For those who are watching on Facebook, make sure you give us a follow, give us a like. You can find out whatever we do, whenever we do it. And we've got a lot of sports because sports is our middle name. For Jordan Ray, this is Eric Sherman bidding you a pleasant good evening for this matchup here at the Big House at Jim Norick Arena. You've been watching or listening to a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.